just beneath the 100, and maybe that's the difference. Scott Waite's 38% on the checkouts, Durrant up at 42. But all credit to both men after what they did yesterday. It was one of the all-time great midweek days of action. It really was.
This is the 2018 Lakeside World Championships, and it's men's semi-finals time here at the home of World Darts, the Lakeside. We now introduce to the stage a former Grand Slam of Darts, Winmore World Masters and World Cup singles champion. He's the former two-time Lakeside World Champion, Scotty 280, Scott stage, the former two-time Winmore World Masters champion. He's the reigning Lakeside World Champion,
Lakeside is absolutely bouncing this afternoon. Durrant v Waits live next on 4. And the crowd know it. Let's join your commentators. Paul Nicholson is alongside Vassos Alexander.
Both these players then one step away from the final. They will both feel...
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First set, first leg is Scotty first. Come on.
They will both feel that if they can come through this semi-final, whoever does get to 6 sets first will fancy their chances of lifting another world title. Durrant, the top seed and defending champion, has played brilliantly all week, averaging 99.5 as he beat Justin Thompson, Daryl Fitton and Jim Williams. Scott Waite's average, 2 times the champion here, of course. Scott Waite's averaged 92 in matches against Ross Montgomery, Dean Reynolds and Andy Bartons. Those 2 quarterfinals yesterday, both these men had to come from 4-1 down to reach the semi-finals. That is how they've been finishing this week so far.
Both guys will probably feel that they could have been eliminated yesterday. I, for one, am very glad that they haven't been, because we now have a match on that has a little bit of revenge about it if you're Glenn Durrant.
2 years ago, lost a titanic quarter-final, 5-4 to Scott Waite, who went on to lose just 2 more sets, in fact, on his way to a second world title. But what's happened Between then and now, Duzzer has become world champion and has a bit of belief about it. Actually, scrap that. He has a lot of belief about it.
Certainly does. 419s for weights. All 6 of them for double 6. This would be a good statement at the start of the match. Just outside. Durrant, chance to break in leg 1.
Single 20 for double top. He will have a dart at a double. For a 15 darter to kick us off, and a break of throw to kick us off.
What a marvellous start from Durrant. Look by his facial expression. He really wants to get rid of that little ghost from 2 years ago. I know how much that game hurt Glenn when he lost to Scott.
40.
He was so disappointed. He felt that was his year. But the courage and the strength of the Teesside Steel man, he came back the following year, got the trophy. But the start of this match, it's very, very good. Keep it like this, gents, and we'll be on the edge of our seat for the next couple of hours.
First to 6 sets through to the final tomorrow. Scott Waits weighing in with the first maximum of this semi-final.
96.
I'm with you, Vassos. I think the favourite for this tournament comes from this semi-final. It's no disrespect to McGeaney or Unterbuchner, but these two guys have been all the way before. They know how to get it done. The other two do not.
I know we mentioned it last night, but all 4 quarterfinals went to a deciding set. First time since 1981 that's happened.
1991.
1991, excuse me. And they were all 4-3, so the first time ever that 4 set quarterfinals have gone all the way. To break straight back, Scott Waits. Treble 20 for double 5. Yes, it's in.
18. Glenn, you require 143.
20s, I feel, for Glenn. He would love a 60 for double 15. Will he gamble for the 60? Bullseye for 2-0.
60.
I was looking at the wrong score, I'm afraid. My apologies.
The double 5, I was confused as well. Oh, he can't afford to miss too many more of these.
No score. Glenn, you require 82.
And that is 4 missed doubles already from Scott Waits, letting Glenn in. 2 darts at double 16 for a 2-leg lead in the first set. Still got a chance at double 8. It's a small adjustment. And there it is.
The second line. Third line is first.
You can't miss doubles against Glenn, especially when he's playing like this. He's playing his B game right now, around 91. You've got to take advantage of him when he's not on his pinpoint stuff. And yesterday, he was pinpoint.
From 4-1 down,
140.
Glenn Durrant did not give his best mate Jim Williams a chance. Scott, however, faced, was it 5 match darts against Andy Bartons?
Definitely more than a handful. But if Durrant is willing to do that to his best mate, what is he willing to do to someone who's beaten him here before?
140.
Good point.
Ruthless stuff. And from 4-1 down yesterday, Durrant averaged 107 and change to take the contest.
45.
Doesn't matter where you play or when you play. That is elite world-class darts.
He only lost 1 leg in 4 sets.
97.
I've said it time and time again. There is one way to win a darts match. Do not allow your opponent a match dart. And he didn't give Jim Williams a match dart.
This is for the first set for Glenn Durrant. Treble 18 for bullseye if he wants to go for it. Bull with the last.
63.
Must pressure the throw here, Scott Waits. This first set has not gone the way he'd have hoped.
140. Then requires 61.
Good time 40, is it too little too late? You suspect it might be, with 2 darts at double 18 for the set. For Glenn Durrant. It's now 15 legs for the loss of just 1 for Glenn Durrant. From 4-1 down, he has been imperious, both closing out his quarter-final and in the early stages of this semi. First blood dozer, he leads Scott Waits by a set to 0 in a race to 6.
Well, as these two themselves proved yesterday, you are never out of it until it's over. A long, long way to go. One thing we can say, Dozer has started very well indeed. Into one of the all-time great semi-final classics. If it's going to, Scotty Too Hotty just needs to start finding a double or two, because Glenn Durrant started brilliantly in that opening set, but there is such a very long way to go. Let's rejoin your commentators.
Yes, nothing between them in the averages. They're both averaging around about 94. They've both had 5 darts at a double, but this man, Glenn Durrant, he's the only one to hit a double so far. That break, that early break, would have come at a good time for Scotty Too Hotty.
Second set, first leg is Glenn Durrant first. Kimo.
Does it with the darts.
Great first set. Steady at 16 darts per leg as an average. But to break the Waits throw at the start,
100.
that's a good solid start. But Waits won't panic, we know that about him. Sometimes he just prefers to try and win from behind.
41.
Maybe he just gets a bit more of a kick out of it.
Very difficult to do against Glenn Durrant, though. I mean, one of the game's great front runners, and he will feel the class act in this field.
You said it, Vassos. He's a different player now, 2 years on, and this is a semi-final, not a quarter-final. That's what makes this game so intriguing. Is Scott Waits the player that he was 2 years ago? Well, as soon as he hits a 180, I am going to close that sentence off.
Hello. Anything you can do? I love it when they trade 1080s on that stage. Durrant on a finish. Another one here would be nice. 3 in a row. The semi-final catches fire. 1-2-1 to hold his throw. He'll feel he needs to hit it. 11. Oh, he's missed the big 11, which would have left bullseye. He's gone into treble 14, which means he can't now take out 1-2-1. So, chance.
Amazing darts in this leg. Double top. What a leg from Scott Waits. Oh, picture perfect stuff from the Yorkshireman. He hits 180, 180, ton out. That is 8 pieces of lipstick in a row. Poster that one.
Yes, 8 perfect darts in a row to break the throw, an 11-dart leg. Just saying to Glenn Durrant, do you remember what happened 2 years ago? Do you remember who beat you? I'm still capable of darts like that. In fact, if you come here 2 years ago, if you were in the Lakeside crowd 2 years ago, that lady there, Doris Brockley, might well have taken your coat. She's 95 now. Doesn't she look good on it? She worked in the cloakroom here up until her 93rd birthday, and she is Bob Potter's sister. And we're at Bob's place. Oh, another one. Oh, another one. Suddenly, Scotty Duhotty can't miss.
I bet that lady's taken some famous quotes in her time.
Well,
the way that Waits has played in this set, he's going to take the cake.
Can he take out 1-2-1? Treble 17 for the bullseye. No, so Durrant with an outside chance to break back. No room for error. Can't now finish.
He can't. But both players have lifted their level in this second set. They know it's not going to be just one set up there before a break. This is an important spell. Double 6 for Waits. That one's not close. And he won't be happy with that one either, because now he's given the chance to Glenn.
16 for double 16. To break straight back and punish those missed doubles. No.
Can't miss this time. I feel he won't. Hasn't got his range on it though. Now he has. This is the exact opposite of what happened in the first set. The throw is with Durrant in this set, but Waits has got the advantage. They're going to trade blows all day, I feel. And I, for one, am not going to take my eyes off the screen.
Potentially 11 sets of this. Yes, please.
I think by Monday, Vassos, we're all going to need a hot water and lemon and honey. We've been shouting for 8 days straight now, ever since the first match of the tournament.
Went to a sudden death leg. Mark McGeaney, who plays later, beating Martin Adams.
Hope you guys at home have enjoyed it as much as we have. It's been a great year here at Lakeside, and we want plenty more. Two of the hardest hitters in world darts from a metaphorical perspective, but two of the heaviest throwers. Some dartser here hit that board with a little thud. These guys, it's a bang, especially Waits. Not a light dart he throws, and it goes in very direct. And you don't see much of the point when it goes in the board. That's how hard he throws it. Goes in all the way to the end of the barrel.
Don't get in the way of a Scott Waits start, whatever you do.
I reckon he'd be a pretty good baseball pitcher. He's a decent dart player. I think he'll stick with this. But Durrant, 160 would have bettered his top checkout of the week, which is 158.
Right then, for the set for Scott. No, can't be done now.
57.
Every time he's reached the semi-final, Scott Waits, he's gone on to lift the title. Double 10 to hold his throw for Dozer. Yes.
Is this the year, though, where streaks are broken? Anastasia had never lost a final. She'd been in 4, lost it today. So that's 3 titles out of 4. Maybe an omen.
Having been coming to Lakeside every year since 2008, Scott Waits finally reached the semi-finals in 2013. Beat Richie George 6-1 in the semis and went on to beat Tony O'Shea 7-1 in the final 2 years ago.
45.
Reached the semi-finals again. Won 6-1 and 7-1 again in the final. Whatever happens today, I think Scott Waits will lose more than one set.
I absolutely agree with you. I do not see Durrant just taking that first set and being steamrolled after that. He's a much better player than that suggests. And I think he's as good now as he's ever been. The last 12 months have proved it.
134.
Well, left himself on 159. And that's a good last start from Scott Waits. 117 when he comes back. 159, no possible out.
Would just love to set it up. Got to go downstairs here. He doesn't want to leave 99. That's really good. 62 is very doable. 117 needs a treble. Not that one. Now he can't go out. That 62 is even more doable now, because he's definitely going to get a shot at it.
Single 14 or single 18.
81. Revenue requires 62.
Right then, for the break of throw to take us into a deciding leg. Single 20. Yes. Double 16. Big dart. No.
Wasn't happy with the way the dart sat in his hand there. Will Waits be happy with this dart? Of course he will, because that's the second set to Waits. Battle has commenced, and he's broken back. He's got his throw, as you were at the start of this match, and it's now the equivalent of the quarter-final format. Now it's best of 9.
4 more needed from both players.
99.
What did you make of Glenn's announcement before his quarter-final yesterday, Paul?
I think it was quite smart, actually.
For those who don't know, he said, essentially,
60.
if he lost in the quarter-finals, he was off to the PDC, which is the other World Championship. But if he won and reached the semi-finals and was invited back next year or qualified for next year, by dint of doing so, he was BDO for life.
I think it was a very smart move, because it stops people from whispering in the background and listening to rumours. He told everybody what he was going to do, and that allowed him to just focus on what he had to do, which was beat Jim Williams.
45.
Now that that is out the way, he can focus on trying to defend his title, and I know how much it means to Glenn to be part of the group of Bristow, of Barneveld, of Wolfie, to have defended this title. I was thinking about something though, Vassos. You said earlier about 1991, when they had those 4 quarter-finals that went all the way. That year, it was won by a Yorkshireman in Dennis Priestley. Is that an omen?
Glenn Durrant on your screen here comes from Teesside. Big fan of Middlesbrough Football Club. Whereas Scott Waits here, he's a proud Yorkshireman. Won the Grand Slam in 2010.
100. Then you require 109.
Single 17 for double 16 for a breaker throw at the start of this third set.
77.
He's getting closer to that double 16. The last 2 attempts have not been successful, but that one was a lot closer than the other one. 18, and tops now for a good hold. Just ever so shy, and Durrant gets more darts at double 16.
Surely he will take this out now. Yes, he does.
Well, the way his darts sit on the board, it was almost easier to hit that than miss it, because he could just kiss it off the flight of the barrel and it would sit right in there.
Straight back in the treble 20, having broken the throw of Scott Waits, and have some of that, says Glenn Durrant. His second of the match, his 24th of the week. And it was to start a leg. Can't persuade the fourth one in, though. So that little 9 that appeared next to his lane disappears. It meant that the perfect leg of darts was on, something we haven't seen since before those 4 quarterfinals you were talking about. Not on this stage, anyway.
Just composing himself, Glenn. Someone who's done a lot of mental training over the last few years to try and squeeze as much out of his talent as possible. He does, of course, come from the same area of the world as Steve Peters, the author of The Chimp Paradox, the guy who helped Ronnie O'Sullivan, the guy who helped the likes of Chris Hoy and Bradley Wiggins.
It's all about quietening down your inner chimp. So Glenn's inner chimp will be saying, you can't take this out, but he'll say, shut up, I can. I can take out the treble 17 now. Just couldn't.
97, Scotch Ruby Guam, 114.
2 treble 20s would have left double 10, but he'll take a straight ton now, which he'll get.
100.
Bottom left of the board is beckoning once more for Durrant.
Come on, Dad, you heard from daughter Amy. It's hit treble 7, so single 11 for double 16. For a 2-leg lead. No. So, over to you, Scott Waits.
Tops for the Yorkshireman for a square game. Square game on a round board. Got to go to the left. Not to be. Durrant gets a chance. He can be 2-0 up in this set now, and this has got all the deja vu of set 1. Everything's going against the darts. This has got to be in because of the lie. It has to be in. Oh, too much of a bounce. Double 4. Yeah, no problem. Composed stuff from the Teessider.
Third leg is got the draw first. Demon.
Good dart at double 4, having missed 2 at double 8 and 1 at double 16 in that leg. So Durrant a leg away from a 2-1 lead in sets. Good start from both players in this leg.
You know what, Vassos, I remember the first time I ever met Glenn Durrant. It was back in 1998 at a local dart tournament at the Stormont Main Club in Gateshead.
He'd have been 27 at this stage.
Not far from the Angel of the North. My first impression of Glenn was that he was a great player, but very, very shy. Spent most of his time that day with his head looking to the floor. He won the tournament that day. Fast forward 20 years. He's champion of the world, and he's looking to defend his title and join an elite group. What a player he's become.
Still very softly spoken as a man.
Very humble.
83.
But absolutely ruthless on the hockey. Hasn't left a finish.
100.
You get the odd dart from Scott like that where there's a lot of shoulder in it, a bit of a jump, just trying to give it a little bit more at the last second.
130. Scotch Ruby Guam, 148.
Valerie White, the mayor of Surrey Heath, watching on. Watching Scott Waits take 140 points out of his 148, but is it too little too late? Because this is set point to Glenn Durrant for a 2-1 lead. 2 darts at double 16.
That was only just in the 20 Vassos, and it was a little bit of a reset from Glenn.
1 from 8 on double 16 now from Glenn Durrant. And double 8's not been his friend either. Only hit that once. Surely this goes. 3 darts in his hand, 2 more. Yes.
Glenn will be livid that the set isn't over. Well, he's got 2 darts in his hand at double 16. He expects that to go. And 2 darts he will want to forget. And he will be able to forget them. Because that is one of the best things you can do as a dart player when you grow, is the ability to forget the bad stuff and remember the good stuff.
A good memory is a bad thing for a dart player.
114.
Tony Hatch, songwriter and composer, wrote the theme to Neighbours, along with many other hits, and Crossroads.
Is that a fact?
121.
Here's a fact for you. I probably already know this one. Why was it called Erinsborough?
Absolutely no idea.
It's an anagram of neighbours.
123.
Just work that out. Yes, it is. Well done.
Factoid of the day at the darts.
Absolutely right.
114.
Didn't actually live that far away from the neighbours set. I used to live about 20 minutes from it when I was in Melbourne.
Oh, yes. Well, Feely needs this. Can't now finish. Excellent chance for Scott Waits to break back. Oh, those are 2 good darts from Durrant, pressuring the 2 darts that Scott Waits will have at double top to level the set. No, no, no.
That's a reprieve. Durrant probably thought that was the set over with. And he would have had to break if it wasn't for this opportunity.
This is for the set for Glenn Durrant.
Double 4 again. 2 twos. That's a great dart. And for the first time all week, we see emotion coupled with the Glenn Durrant shuffle.
And the Glenn Durrant stare. He has just about won that leg and won that set. And Glenn Durrant leads Scott Waits by 2 sets to 1. All the fun of the hockey.
The battle between these 2 darting titans is warming up nicely. Brilliant from Waits for the second set. Durrant re-establishes his lead. It is game on here at Lakeside in this fascinating semi-final. Very much, Danny. I'm sure Martin will be staying in the arena to watch this one. There are many, many more chapters in this drama still yet to unfold. The advantage is with the defending champion at the moment, but don't write Waits off just yet. Let's get back to your commentators.
In fact, Martin Adams was involved in an epic semi-final against Glenn Durrant 3 years ago. Now, what you don't want to see if you're playing Duzzer is that. It means he's just in a big double.
4th set, first leg is let it through first. Game on.
I'm a big fan of that little shuffle and the come on after it. Nothing wrong with a bit of emotion. He's always had plenty of that in his game, Glenn has.
2-1 up, has the darts at the start of this 4th set. Remember, first to 6, through to the final.
Let's not forget, Vassos, that by making the semi-finals, they have punched their tickets for next year. They will definitely be in the Lakeside draw next year. They could put their darts down for the next 11.5 months and still be in the draw. But knowing these 2 guys as I do, I'm pretty sure that isn't going to be the case.
Since we saw him lift the title on the Lakeside stage 12 months ago, Glenn Durrant has won in Denmark, and in Wales, and in Wolverhampton. Wolfie, meanwhile, having lost in the very first match of the championship, he's been doing that for 8.5 days.
I wonder how many photos he's had with people over the last few days. Got to be some sort of record.
Right then, to hold his throw, he has 6 darts for it if he wants them, but he'd love to take this out. I know he's not going to take it out. Treble 17 bull was the way if he wanted to take it out, but looking at the score, looking at Scott Waits back on 201, he thought, set it up.
We've only got just over a day to go in this whole championship. Darryl Fitton and Justin Van Tajau are on the edge of their seat with the biggest checkout.
Darryl Fitton at the moment having the £5,000 prize for the high checkout, even though Justin Van der Houw also hit it. Double 16 for this leg for Glenn Durrant. Hasn't been his friend at all, the double 16. Double 8's not much better.
54. Scott required 24.
So double 12 for Scott Waits. Yes.
That's game shown on the first line. Scott Waits. Second line is Scott the 21st.
Toing and throwing the whole time. What a strange game this has been. Break of throw in the first set. Break of throw in the second set. Break of throw in the third. And we start the fourth with a break of throw.
125.
Both averaging in the mid-90s, as they knew they would have to at least to stay in contention.
Well, they're locking horns, Vassos, because Scott has lifted his game in this contest. Glenn's come down a little bit, so they've met somewhere in the middle, and that middle is 94, 95.
81.
Makes for a good contest.
Yeah, Glenn was averaging 99.5 in his first 3 matches. Scott just 92. But it doesn't matter about averages, we keep saying it. We mention them because we've got the stats, but it's all about the match.
Those guys will not be thinking about averages up there. The best players in the world do not think about statistics. They think about what they've got to hit next. And then they're told their average later, and whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They just want to get the win. Lisa Ashton asked me after her final this afternoon what was my average. She had absolutely no idea. And when I told her it was 1 dot under 90, she was very, very pleased. But that's all she wanted to know. These guys, right now, all they want is a 6 next to their name in sets, and that way they'll be in the final.
Just throw the last dart. That's all you've got to do. Throw the last dart.
156, known as the Barney, because he loves a 156.
100. Glenn Unicorn 127.
127 only needs 1 treble. That's the best one to hit. He could go for another one here if he wants, but now centre point of the board,
102.
only just off to break straight back.
Now, will he go single 20, double 18? I think he will. Yes. 2 18s for a 2-leg lead. Double 9.
38.
It's not a nice switch, that.
Glenn Unicorn 25.
Some people like it because it's basically the same height. You're switching from one side of the board to the other. It's very awkward, but this is very standard.
He's missed his last 7 darts at double 8. Make that his last 8 darts at double 8.
That's worrying. And looking at Scott's eyes, he's going straight for this. No 10 or a 6 here, straight for double 9. That's slightly awkward. He may have to go to the right and try and kiss on the right-hand side of the barrel. That's the danger.
10. Glenn Unicorn 8.
One out of 3 now on double 4.
But
that's the one that counts. Doesn't matter if you miss doubles as long as you throw the last dart.
We were talking about their averages meeting in the middle. Well, similarly, their doubles percentages are both down on their tournament stats. So a little bit more nerves today, a bit more edge.
115.
The stat on double 8 for Glenn is very worrying because that's where he makes his bread. He constantly hits double 16 and double 8 all the time.
And he's always thinking about trying to leave 32. That's what his game's all about.
Yeah, you've got to have a game plan.
100.
Will he have a plan B? Will he start trying to leave 40?
No, dart players are stubborn, Vassos. If we miss our favourites, we keep going there.
97.
I guess the worrying thing for Scott Waits and his fans is that Glenn Durrant's not going to play much worse than this, and he's still leading.
100.
Judging by the last 2 or 3 years, he's most definitely not going to play any worse than this. I can't remember the last time he was on the Lakeside stage and averaged under 90. He just doesn't do it.
Averaging 94 at the moment, which isn't great for him. Do you know what this semi-final needs? It needs a couple more ton 80s.
Or a 170 check out, or someone to hit something big when someone's sitting on a double. A dramatic moment. A lot of jostling going on right now.
Even Zippy and Bungle in front of us here are in their seats, and they haven't been all day. Double 16, he's gone back to it, back to the well, and finally finds some water.
Well, the gesture from Glenn Durrant there, as if to say, where have you been? It's almost like his daughter went for a night out in Middlesbrough and didn't call her dad. Where have you been? Oh, there you are. Finally called, do you? 2-1 up in this set, Durrant. 1 leg away from a 3-1 advantage and a 2-set lead.
16.
So many people at the Lakeside today, all dressed up. People love Lakeside Saturday #2. All of the tension of the men's semi-finals and the ladies' final. How much would these guys give to be playing on the final Sunday again? These guys, when they do get to finals, they're usually pretty good.
Neither of these players has lost a Lakeside final. In fact, in 2 finals, Scott Waits has only lost 2 sets.
140.
Yeah, one of those finals he was up against Tony O'Shea, who ran out of steam. Same against Jeff Smith.
The Pimp My Ride guy from Canada.
One of the coolest men in darts, Jeff Smith.
Right then, needs this. Treble 14 for double 16. No, he's hit treble 11, so single 9, but Glenn Durrant will be back for 67 for the set.
A lot of people these days like treble 9 for this, but Glenn will not do that. He'll go treble 17, very conventional. 18 for that double 16, which he found in the previous leg, and he's got it again. 3 sets to 1 to Durrant, and if Waits wants to win this, he's going to have to do it from behind yet again.
Won his quarter-final from 4-1 down yesterday, as did Glenn Durrant.
59.
Trouble for Scott is Glenn is one of the best front runners in world darts.
The ability to find what you need when you need it.
84.
Just ask Lisa Ashton. She was pulverized in the first set against Dobromislova earlier on, and then Ashton went mad. 4-1 down against Jim Williams yesterday. Glenn Durrant in the 6th set averaged 118.66 to win that set.
Hello, this is what we need. Get on your feet, everybody! Match maximum number 8. You knew that third dart was heading right there. even before he threw it. And straight back in.
Ominous. It's got to
That
switch now.
second
That's very precarious.
139.
98 when he comes back.
85. That require 98.
Treble 20 would have left double 19, but that definitely leaves double 12.
86.
Just a little dip at the end of the dart, but 132 is one of those Hollywood shots.
Go on then. 2 bullseyes and a double 16. No, can't now finish. Double 6 for Duzza when he comes back for a 4th leg in a row.
96.
Just checking with the referee to see what he had left there. Leaves double 18 on purpose. Double 6 though for Durrant is not a problem. And Durrant is starting to put his foot to the floor.
What does Scott Waits do about this?
Sometimes we just don't know the answer to that question. He has been in this position so many times and been able to claw it back. He's got to reach deep down inside. And the way he played yesterday against Barton's, when he was dead and buried, it was the most impressive of the 4 comebacks for me.
Even though Barton's had match darts, 5 of them.
Absolutely. I just felt that the rebound of form from Waits compared to Barton's was just so much more meteoric.
Oh, he's motoring along nicely. It's exactly what we needed, a couple of maximums.
140. 167.
And this will be nice. Treble 19 for bullseye, and he will go for this. Oh, just the wrong side of the wire.
99.
Well, Waits being a rhythm player, if he's in the rhythm, he'll hit this. Treble 17 for that bullseye. There it is! What a shot! And judging by the crowd's reaction, that's exactly what we needed. This 5th set is very alive by virtue of a lovely bullseye finish that we love to see now and again.
Everybody loves a bullseye finish.
99.
Saturdays would not be the same without a bit of bully.
Quite a few people in the Lakeside today dressed as Bully.
97.
Right in the middle.
Not finding his scoring boots there.
There's Susan, Glenn's wife. We've seen daughter Amy screaming, "Come on, Dad."
It must be really hard for the wives and the families.
Oh, it is. You can see it written all over their faces.
Height of my career, I didn't allow my family to come. I didn't want to put them through it. Some of them came anyway. But it's a family atmosphere here at Lakeside. Daughters, sons, friends, wives and girlfriends, and husbands and boyfriends. Everybody has lost their fingernails this week.
57.
And Vikings and superheroes and Smurfs. And dartboards and nuns and Donald Trump on a couple of occasions.
I've seen a Kim Jong-un,
60.
a guy with a pumpkin pie on his head. But a 164 would be very nice. He's going to be back to the board Waits, and that treble was very handy. Puts him on a 2-darter. should be under pressure, but we don't want to tempt fate. But he is going to be under pressure now.
100.
Battle of the two Donors coming up.
84.
14. Double 11.
62.
Dragged it ever so slightly. And the bullseye may be the target for Durrant if he gets two single 20s here. It's going to be double 15 as he gets to 60. That is very awkward. Got to go over the top to the right. Perfect.
Absolutely stunning dart. He has the darts for a 4-1 lead.
When you know how your darts lie and how they fly, you execute the plan. That was a blocker, but if you take a step to the right of 3 or 4 inches, you can see about 50% more of the bed than if you didn't move. It's exactly what he did, and it was a brilliantly thrown dart to take that leg.
Keeps the hammer down.
Every time Glenn has been at the lakeside, his friend has been here with him.
Dennis, according to his shirt anyway.
I saw him this morning, I said, "How are you?" And he said,
100.
absolutely frazzled. I can't see any fingernails on his fingers.
85.
Sometimes ultra-marathon runners just remove their toenails because it's just quicker. Maybe lakeside families, friends and family should do the same with their fingernails.
Just wear gloves, everybody. Waits would love a 140 here. Perfect start. Just smack another one in there. Good try. Lots of force behind that, but this 96 could see the end of set number 5 and give him a 3-set advantage. Stay there. It's a perfect guide for another. Just a little bit of a drag to the left.
88. Scott's requires 76.
Okay, Scott. No room for error. Must take out 76. Treble 1988. Yes, it is in the treble 1. No. So, set point. Glenn Durrant for a 4-1 lead in a race to 6. Takes aim at double 4. Northeast segment of the board. And the man from the northeast makes no mistake, wraps up the set. He's 2 away.
Scott Waits is going to be livid that he didn't get a shot at a double from 76. Both players taking a little bit of a breather. Mark O'Meara, our referee, taking a little breather as well, and we can afford him that. Those referees up there are working just as hard as the players this week. Mark O'Meara, Anthony Dundas, Nick Rolls and Charlie Corstefine have done a phenomenal job this week for the men and the ladies.
Some of the best refereeing this week that I can remember.
Anthony Dundas's head has been swelling this week because after one of the games a couple of days ago, he walked in the practice room and they'd written on every practice board, Anthony Dundas is a legend.
81.
Not the kind of guy to let it go to his head though. Probably because he's listening to us right now.
He needed that. 6th of the match for Scott Waits, the 10th in total. 181 remaining after 2 visits to the Oki. That's how good this is.
100.
Scott Waits knows all about being 4-1 down. Is it time to flick that switch? He's going to have to now.
Andy Bartons has had a fantastic week, but with all due respect to him, he is no Glenn Durrant. Bullseye, he's in it once.
56. Glenn, you require 48.
Hasten to say there's only one Glenn Durrant. Well, that might start a chant. Double 16
Well, I'll
for the
sing it.
Teessider. You can see how disgusted he is with that dart. Not pleased with that one, but it was a better throw.
Now, these two darts coming up at double 8 for Scott Waits, assuming he hits the big 9, which he does, are crucial. It's a big miss. Perhaps he rushed it a little, pulled it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Takes out the double 4.
Second line with Scott the throw first.
Breaks the Durrant throw.
Scott Waits can afford to miss a few doubles, but he can't afford to miss doubles at visits and give chances to Glenn. It's imperative that he takes out shots when he has them. Glenn is not going to give him as many chances as Andy Bartons did. We know that for a fact.
I can't imagine Glenn will miss 5 match darts. Put it that way.
57.
He's been involved in matches where he has missed big match darts, but
Not since he won the title 12 months ago.
when you know how to win and you've done it, it's all different. It feels different. It feels more comfortable.
58.
What a different situation it is for Glenn today. He was 4-1 down yesterday to Jim Williams. He's 4-1 ahead now, and another one of those will be handy. That leaves 132. Flips this leg on its back, and he can finish it next time around with a great finish of 132. Great counting, because 133 as opposed to 171 would have left 170.
45.
And all of a sudden,
32.
Durrant has got 6 darts for this 132.
Treble 20. Treble 16 for double 12. Doesn't really matter because he will be back.
24.
Hit the treble, leaving double 4 when he comes back.
The 132, of course, was hit to win the World Youth Championship by Justin Van der Hau yesterday. With double 4 for Durrant. It's right in the middle, that one. Right in the middle of the boat.
4-1, 1 apiece. This is a set that Scott Waits cannot afford to lose.
140. 85. 140.
From the 1920s to treble 20s and 19s.
15.
I know how Glenn loves his homeland.
100.
Some of the players that have come from his neck of the woods have done very well in the sport. People like Phil Nixon,
100.
the late great Phil Nixon.
121.
How he loves to honour those players with play like this. 60 will leave double 8. Perfectly done. Players like Colin Osborne, another smoggy.
100. Then you require 16.
Under not much pressure.
No score.
No, he's decided to bust it.
Just doesn't want to mess around. He feels more comfortable to be coming back for double eight than anything else. That just goes to show how much he likes double eights. This is to put him one leg away from taking the set, and it's not a problem again. And there's a little bit more emotion. He's just cranking up the intensity, and why not, especially when you're front running it really well.
We said what a good front runner he is, and well, if Scott Waits does come back from 5-1 down, he'll need an awful lot of darts, just like those. Not 5-1 down yet, but he's on the brink, and back comes Durrant.
139.
Just the wrong side, just into the treble 1, not the treble 20.
41.
I think the word we need to talk about is consistency. I think Durrant has just been more consistent through the course of this match. Less slippery darts into the treble 1s and 5s than that of Waits. And that's why he's doing a very Durrant-style performance. Mid to high 90s, approaching 40% on his doubles, and right now a very Glenn Durrant game is winning him this match.
99. Glenn Durrant, 164.
Happy birthday from Zippy. Right then, that was... Can't now be finished.
58. Scott Durrant, 80.
Treble 20, single 20 now for tops, and it's a good lie.
60.
Ooh, so close.
How did he squeeze a dart between his second dart and the double top bed?
That almost defied physics, that one. But this one will be physically perfect
Double
for the set if he hits double 16.
And he has. Absolutely dead-eye darts from Duzzer. He's one set away from the final, the defending champion. When it's all going his way at the moment, he is the best front runner at Lakeside, and plenty for Scotty Waits to ponder as they head backstage. Durrant 5, Waits 1.
Glenn Durrant just one set away now from a place in a second successive final. Waits has come back from 4-1 down already this week. Can he come from even further behind? He faces a metaphorical mountain.
All the preparation for the big semi-final. Tony's like a coiled spring as well, but it might not last too long, mate.
Just saying that as I got in the box, short and sweet. It's a shame, really, because Scott's not really done a lot wrong.
No, he's not played badly, has he? He's averaged 93. Glenn's just had that little edge on the scoring boots, hasn't he? 96.26. Getting the checkouts when it matters. That 67 to go 3-1 up. The 106 to put him 5-1 up. We've seen some Houdini-like performances from Scott this week, but it would perhaps top the lot if he came back from here.
Exactly. Them little chances he had, them 2-3 darters, he's been clinical as Duzzer. Really impressive finishing.
Second semi-final tonight, of course, and I'm sure both players there, including the current BDO #1, Mark McGeaney, will be keeping a little bit of a watch on this one, wondering who they're likely to be playing in the final.
140.
Yeah, I was watching him practice about 20 minutes ago. The way this game is going, he's not even put his dart shirt on yet. He's still so relaxed. I think he's going to have a bit more time to spare than he thought.
57.
One more set and it's all over. First to 6. Lovely atmosphere in here this afternoon as ever, and many people thought this would be a battle all the way, but it's not turned out that way, not yet anyway. And Scott needs more of those. Well, that's 2. Oh, brilliant. Good as a maximum.
And third dart off the floor. Clinical.
Lucy, Scott's partner, watching on. Been a bit of a lucky omen for Scott Waits in the matches I've followed in this week. I think I'll be going out and buying lottery tickets if he wins this one.
It's a big one, but the form he's in. Another one of them. Oh, he's missed it now. Treble 18 will leave in 24.
So 25 for the first Scott Waits hopes of many. Double 8. Double 4. Got to take it. Oh dear, and that's been the story really, Tony.
Exactly, and this is where Glenn's been stepping in, polishing off these little 2 darters. 20 for tops. May have to move a little. Done that a couple of times in this match. Had to move slightly to the right or the left. Actually caught the dart that time. Double 10.
15.
Scott needs the old Desmond shot. 2 2s. Working in. Oh dear. Double 1. There, gets it this time. A slightly wry smile, as much as to say, there it is. Why didn't I have a few more of those earlier?
A little opening for Scott here.
140.
He's done well as well, didn't he? He needed to kick the door open, and he's certainly done that now.
Well stepped in there.
Well, he's effectively got the throw now, Scott Waits, in this leg, which he has to win. A set which he has to win.
140.
And that's back-to-back ton 40s.
That's the old Scott Waits, that third dart. Seemingly no space for it above the one that was already in the treble, but he got it in there.
100.
When he's on his game, Scott Waits is brilliant, and he's a fighter. He never gives in, and he is capable of taking out those big finishes, as we've seen repeatedly. And that is a brilliant maximum. That's his 8th.
Maybe we're premature saying this might be a short one.
I don't want a short one. I'd like to see it go down to the wire.
97. Scott required 41.
41 then. The dart, double 16. That's nicely done, an 11 darter. How about that?
Beautiful scoring, beautiful finishing. That's the old Scott Waits.
So now needs to hold his throw. And the story goes on. What on earth was that, he says? That's where it needs to be.
85.
We're talking about the atmosphere. It's as big a crowd I've seen for a few years here at the Lakeside. Standing room only.
Literally not a spare seat in the house, is there? You can see the place absolutely rammed. There's a fair few round the places where you get the refreshments as well.
They're always busy, mate. The thing is, there must have been a mad rush for tickets after the last couple of days. The standard has been amazing, John.
It's really picked up as we've come into the money end, I suppose, of the tournament, the business end of the tournament. Glenn Durrant trying to retain the title that he won last year. And Scott Waits looking for his 3rd title, to add to those in 2013 and 2016.
Well, you have to be a bit special to be a multiple world champion. Win it once, you can have the week of your life, and maybe not lucky, but it was your week. But then to do it a second time, that proves you're a real champion. Not many people actually do that, mate.
The darts coming down.
136.
Another fine visit from Scott Waits. I'm not sure if you were with me earlier in the week, Tony, but we were saying that Scott's somebody who's decided that darts has a certain part in his life, but he doesn't actually want darts to be his life. A lot going on, young kid. That's great darts, brilliant to 130 checkout. And the set.
8 set, first leg is going to 12 fouls.
And you can guarantee that darts is all that matters right now.
Last couple of minutes, he's looked at that. That's all he cares about.
140.
Is this the start of a revival? Acorns and mighty oaks and all that sort of thing. Another brilliant maximum. For the moment, Tony is flying.
When he's firing on all cylinders, that last dart, there wasn't a real gap for it there. He found it.
97.
You have some belief to fire that one in. Brilliant again.
And everything he's going for at the moment.
Does his throws under pressure. Again. He did that treble at the end.
And the champions always seem to find a way. The trouble is we've got 2 champions on the same hockey now.
Bogey number for Durrant, no checkouts. Waits just working that one out. And he's left himself 91. He'll have a chance to get that for the break, Tony.
It's not a bad finish, but I would imagine he'd be using the bullseye in the combination. 25-0 bull.
94. Scott should require 91.
This is an opening.
Treble 14 for 32. He's missed it. 20. He'll leave tops.
51.
Really thought he'd go for the bull there to give him at least 1 dart and a double, which would have been the bull.
Now has to hope that Glenn misses out. Single 20 for tops. Tops now. That's a big dart. That is a really important dart for Glenn Durrant. And a little opportunity for Scott Waits to continue that revival. Went begging.
I hate criticising any dart player, but in a big pressure match like this, you should give yourself every chance of a finish. And going for 17, there was always a chance he'd single it and then have to hit another treble. Going the 25 route, if he hit 25, he was almost guaranteed a shot at the bull.
83.
Has to put it behind him now and fire on. Great first dart, inviting more.
Plenty of room for it as well.
Great shot.
140.
What a response.
140.
Not a lot between them in terms of averages. Glenn Durrant 95, Scott Waits 94. He's picked that up over the last set and a half. Durrant's checkouts have been superior, 37% against 26. The lads in their rather fine suits are here again. I wonder if the boys are here who come all the way from Boston, Massachusetts. That's a long way to come for your darts, isn't it?
Long bus ride home at the end of the night, mate.
$100.
144, it can be done. Scott's on a Shanghai if he returns. Well, he will. Treble 18, lead double 16. Just checking it with the scorer. That's the way, great dart.
Well, the way Scott's been hitting this 20, you'd expect him to have a shot at the tops for the Shanghai.
Got to get the treble. Oh, another opportunity goes begging, and the break now is a very real possibility for Glenn. Double 16. He's got it, and he moves closer to victory. He only needs one more leg now, and he's into tomorrow's final.
Yeah, he's hit a lot of them double 16s when it really mattered. Never looked in doubt that one, to be honest. And he's off again here.
Great dance. Finally getting the pressure off his back of actually winning one. It's kind of moved him on as a player, hasn't it?
57.
Yeah, he's looking the real deal here.
So one maximum to start.
4, 5. And there's 6 in a row.
Come on then, Glenn, let's see it. The 9-darter is a possibility.
100.
It's not happened in a Lakeside World Championship since 1990. The crowd willing it. Yes, treble 19. Oh, just the wrong side of the wire.
89.
Valiant attempt and a sporting round of applause.
Would that have been your first, John?
I've had one on the other side.
The other side of this room, or yeah, I know. It's always a special moment, no doubt.
134.
Kyle Anderson got one for me.
52.
Double 16. And there it is. Glenn Durrant finishing off matters with a superb 11-dart leg. What a lovely way to win it. Went close to the 9-darter. He knew it, the referee knew it, the crowd knew it, they were willing it in. But in the end, not quite. But Glenn Durrant is going to take an awful lot of beating in that final. Who's going to face him? Well, we'll find out the answer to that one a little bit later. But in the battle of the current champion and the former champion, the current champion has prevailed. Glenn Durrant accounts for Scott Waits, who's performed wonderfully here this week once again. But Durrant the winner, and he takes it by 6 sets to 2.
Well, we were hoping for an epic comeback from Scott Waits, just as he did yesterday. Perhaps not quite doing justice to his huge talent. He will be back, not this year. Durrant will be back tomorrow to try and defend his title. What a performance. Sensational semi-final is unfolding in front of a packed house here. It really is a superb atmosphere. And it's not just the crowd who are enjoying this one. There are 1 or 2 very knowledgeable faces out there who I know will be aware of exactly what these players are going through. One of them is alongside Danny, the 3-time champion of the world, Martin Wolfie Adams.
I am here with one of the legends of the game, Martin Wolfie Adams. You never get tired of this, do you?
I don't know, I love it. These people are brilliant, aren't they? Lovely.
But of course, there's a match going on up there. I know you would have loved to have been up there in 25th year, but I mean, this is crunch time for these two guys, Scotty Too Hotty and Glenn Durrant, isn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, they both know what's at stake. This is one step away from the final, and that's where they both want to be. And it's been quite a cracking start. You know, Glenn was brilliant in the first set, Scotty brilliant in the second, third set, what a tussle. And you can see with the missed doubles, they're both feeling the nerves.
It's really uncharacteristic for these two guys to miss doubles, isn't it? So it just shows how much pressure they're under up there.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And they know that, you know, if they lose this, then they don't make the final. If they win it, they've got the potential to win the title. And they're thinking about that in the back of their mind. You might not want them to, but they are.
Well, they're coming back.